We're looking at specific ecosystem tags here. Hip hop slash rap, R&B slash soul, pop, electronic slash dance.
Afrobeats, gospel/spiritual.
Exactly. Rock, alternative, Latin, K-pop, experimental, and even custom.
It's a huge list.
But here's my question. Why go to the trouble of mapping a user's exact geographic coordinates to such specific subgenres if the music is essentially borderless AI generation? I mean, it's just code in the cloud.
Well, from a systems architecture standpoint, this is the entire foundation of their spatial discovery model.
Spatial discovery, okay.
Yeah. By tying a granular preference, say Afrobeats or experimental, to a physical IP address in Atlanta or London, the fan is actively programming the ecosystem's intelligence.
Oh, wow. So you're basically an anchor.
Exactly. You are providing the hub with the exact coordinates of a cultural node. The algorithm isn't just trying to guess what you want to hear next. It is using your geographic and stylistic data to map where certain sounds are gaining traction in the real world.
So you are feeding a live heat map.
You are the heat map.
That is insane. So if you are a user who consistently identifies early trends, this setup allows you to essentially build a cryptographic style proof of your early investment.
Yes.
Think about the cultural weight a well-curated fan profile holds in this environment. If you discover a K-pop AI artist when they only have 10 followers, right?
Right.
And your profile shows you're adding them to playlists and interacting with them from day one, you have the literal time-stamped receipts.
You do. You aren't just a listener anymore.
No, you are a tastemaker with verifiable proof of your influence.
Exactly. In the traditional music industry infrastructure, the A&R executive at the record label holds all the power.
And gets all the credit for finding the talent.
Exactly. The structure of the AI Artist Hub decentralizes that A&R power and hands it directly to you, the superfan.
Which is empowering.
It is. And more importantly, they give the fan a dedicated dashboard to actually track those cultural investments.
Which brings us to the command center. Once your profile is built, you step into this fan mode interface. And structurally, it functions like a Bloomberg terminal for music culture.
A Bloomberg terminal. That's a great analogy.
Thanks. I mean, it really tracks metrics that prove your utility to the ecosystem. It displays the number of AI artists you follow, say 12. The creators you follow, maybe 5. Your liked songs, your playlists, and your total tracks played.
Standard stats so far.
Right. But the metric that completely disrupts the current industry standard is sitting right there in the middle of the screen.
Purchases.
Purchases, yes. Here's where it gets really interesting.
The reintroduction of direct purchasing is the absolute paradigm shift of this whole platform.
Yeah.
How exactly does the documentation describe the routing for these purchases?
Okay, so here's the mechanism. In the fan library section, the mock-ups show a digital product. It's an official single called Sex in My Uber by an AI artist named Feral Love.
Feral Love, keep that name in mind.
Oh, we will definitely come back to Feral Love. So, the single is listed as purchased for $2.99. And according to the internal routing maps, fans are buying this directly from the creator's pocket label.
Directly.
Yes. The transaction doesn't go into some massive corporate pool to be divided up by market share later. It is processed directly via Stripe right there in the app. The fan pays the pocket label, and the fan owns the asset in their library.
We really have to analyze the economics of this. Because for the last 20 years, we have been completely conditioned to accept a rental model.
Yeah, the monthly subscription.
Exactly. You pay a monthly subscription fee for access to a near-infinite library. But you possess nothing. If your credit card expires, your music disappears instantly.
It's just gone.
Furthermore, that subscription fee is pooled and paid out in microscopic fractions of a penny per stream, meaning you, the fan, have almost zero direct financial impact on the specific emerging artists that you actually love.
You're just a drop in the ocean.
Right. But the hub is dismantling that model by reintroducing the psychology of digital patronage.
It's the difference between tossing a penny into a wishing well and directly buying stock in a startup.
Exactly.
When you buy that Feral Love track for $2.99 directly through Stripe, you are injecting immediate, meaningful liquidity into that pocket label.
And by proudly displaying one purchase on the user's public dashboard right alongside their followed artists, the platform visualizes that patronage.
It validates the fan.
It validates the fan. We talked about gamification earlier, but this isn't gamification.
Right, because gamification implies triviality.
Yes. Meaningless badges to keep you clicking on things. This is equity building.
Yeah.
Your fan mode dashboard functions as a public ledger that says, I physically fund the culture I consume.
I physically fund the culture I consume. That is powerful.
It really is.
But to fund that culture, you have to be able to find it. And this is where the interface completely subverts expectations again. Legacy algorithms operate on a temporal linear feed.
Just endless scrolling.
Exactly. You scroll down, and the machine feeds you an endless column of content that sounds exactly like the last thing you interacted with. It's a closed loop that traps you in an echo chamber.
Which is boring.
It is. So when I looked at the hub's discovery mechanics, I was shocked. They entirely abandoned the linear feed in favor of a spatial discovery engine.
Ah, the Fan World module.
Yes, the Fan World module. Right on the dashboard, there is a literal 3D Earth.
A globe.
A 3D globe. You drag the globe to spin it, and you tap these glowing tins scattered across continents to explore where these AI artists actually live.
Which is such a cool visual.
It is. The interface lists a diverse roster mapped to specific geographies. So you have Thang Q, who is categorized as alternative, JOA in R&B/soul,
Okay.
NAMI in K-pop, F-Wall in Afrobeat, and YGN Twin in hip-hop/rap. But I have to play devil's advocate here for a second.
Go for it.
Why map an AI to a physical globe? It feels like a skeuomorphic lie. The Afrobeat AI doesn't actually live in Lagos. The K-pop AI doesn't live in Seoul. They exist in an Amazon Web Services data center somewhere in Virginia.
Right.
So why enforce this artificial geography?
Because human psychology is inherently tied to geography. And without it, you cannot build lore.
Lore.
Yes, lore. Think about the history of physical music. The Seattle grunge scene, the UK grime scene, the Bronx hip-hop scene. The soil matters to the sound.
Oh, that's interesting. The soil matters.
It really does. The context of where art comes from gives it authenticity and weight in the human mind. If you present an AI artist simply as a string of code generated in the cloud, it remains abstract. It lacks a soul.
It's just a file.
Exactly. By anchoring these server-generated personas to physical locations, the creators are engaging in necessary world building.
So it's about providing a cognitive map for the listener.
Precisely. If we connect this to the bigger picture, when you spin that 3D globe and see that NAMI, the K-pop artist, is stationed in a totally different hemisphere than F-Will, the Afrobeat artist, you are forced to process them as entities native to a specific historical musical lineage.
It tricks the human brain into respecting the origin of the sound.
Yes. Furthermore, it changes the entire act of discovery. Scrolling a linear feed is a passive, isolating behavior. Spinning a globe and hunting for local underground AI scenes, that feels like exploration.
It feels like travel.
Exactly. It feels like travel.
And once you find that local scene, the platform has a very aggressive strategy for keeping you immersed in it.
They don't want you to leave.
They really don't. The onboarding documentation repeatedly uses the phrase stay into flow, INDAFLOW.
A day into flow.
They want you moving with the culture 24/7. And to facilitate this, they've built the artificial ones, 24/7 mobile radio, directly into the ecosystem.
Which sounds like standard internet radio so far, huh?
It does. But the delivery mechanism for this radio is what signals their true ambition. The ecosystem maps explicitly highlight a massive technical feature called Tesla Compatible.
That is huge. Integrating with the vehicle's operating system is a massive architectural leap.
It really is.
It moves the platform out of the isolated digital realm on your phone and forcefully inserts it into physical infrastructure.
Right. It's basically a strategic Trojan horse into the last remaining communal listening space we have, the car.
Yeah, road trips, commutes.
Exactly. The mock-up showed that the hub isn't just streaming audio to the car via Bluetooth. The actual interface lives natively on the Tesla dashboard screen.
Wow.
And the documentation makes a very specific point. Passengers can explore artists, interact with the hub, and even send messages to AI artists directly from the car's interface while in transit.
We really need to analyze the sociological shift this represents, because the entire trajectory of consumer audio tech, from the Walkman to the iPod to noise-canceling AirPods, has been about isolation.
Shutting out the world.
Right. It's about building a wall between you and the physical world. By natively integrating into the vehicular environment, the AI Artist Hub is forcing a reversion to collaborative communal interaction.
Because everyone in the car can see the screen.
Exactly. A car is an immersive entertainment pod, When you have a driver and passengers all looking at that central Tesla screen, controlling the 24/7 mobile radio together, discovery becomes a shared physical event again.
Just imagine the friction they're eliminating here. You're on a road trip with your friends. A track comes on the 24/7 radio, and instead of pulling out your phone, opening an app, using Shazam or whatever to find the song, and maybe liking it.
Which no one actually does.
Right. Instead of all that, the passenger simply leans forward, taps the car's dashboard, and sends a direct message to the artist saying, "This track is incredible."
You know what? Everybody around here talking all this noise. They worry about what's going on.